Hey everyone, welcome back to Green Leaf Cooking, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the most wonderful banana bread recipe. It is easy, it's really fun to make, and it tastes delicious. So the ingredients we're going to be using are 3 bananas. You want to make sure they're nice and ripe, 1 stick butter, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 2 cups flour, 1 cup sugar, half a teaspoon salt, half a teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon baking soda. So those are all of our ingredients, and we're only going to be using a fork to blend everything together. So I'm just going to already have my 3 bananas into a bowl, and we're going to use our fork to gently blend those together. And first I like to cut them into tiny pieces so that's easier to compress later on. Okay. Now that we've cut them into smaller pieces, we're going to take our fork and we're just going to press down on the bananas. Pressing down and making sure that they turn into like a paste consistency. Pressing them. And the more ripe the bananas are, the easier it will be to do this step, and the tastier your banana bread will be. Compressing, and it will start forming into a jelly kind of consistency. The smoother the bananas are, the smoother the paste is, the easier it will be to mix in the other ingredients. So that's why you can take your time on this step so that the next steps will be easier. As you can see, almost all of our bananas are smooth and ready . Okay, I think we're finished with the bananas. The next thing we're going to put in is 1 stick of melted butter. You don't want it to be totally melted. You want some little chunks of the butter, but you want it to be mostly melted. So we're putting our butter in. As you can see, there's a little chunk left in. That's totally fine. That's what we want. We're going to mix this for about until it's a nice consistency. So it gets this nice color. It looks, so I think we're about done with the butter. Our next ingredients are 2 eggs, and we're just going to crack those into our bowl. Our first egg is in, and our second egg is in. And now we're just going to mix that carefully with our beat the eggs before we mix them into the other ingredients, to the bananas. taste easier later on. And now we can mix it into the bananas. And at this point, if you find any chunks of banana that haven't been nicely compressed and flattened, you can flatten them right now. It'll be a little easier. Okay. The next thing is we're going to include some vanilla extract. We're going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract in our mixture. And this will just add extra flavor and make it taste even better than it already does. And we're going to mix that in. It also gives a nice color to the banana bread. So this is our bowl of wet ingredients. Now we're going to take a bowl of some dry ingredients, which are going to be right here. And for our dry ingredients, we have 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to first put those in. 2 cups of flour into our bowl. Our next thing that is in our dry ingredients is 1 cup of sugar. And this just makes it taste like a dessert, makes it sweet. 1 cup sugar. Next up is half a teaspoon of salt. This balances all of those flavors. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're also going to add in a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So cinnamon is also just giving it that extra boost of flavor. Just adding our cinnamon in. And if you're a cinnamon person like I am, I love cinnamon, so you can add a little more. Okay, we've added our cinnamon, and our last thing to add in is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This helps to make the dough the better rise. Now, we're going to put in, this is the tricky part, we're putting in our dry ingredients, everything into our wet ingredients. Before we do that, I'm just going to mix in the dry ingredients a little in the bowl. And we're going to add those to our wet ingredients. And then we're going to mix that extra. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the middle so you guys can see. We have both bowls in here, and we're just going to mix both. Into each other. Okay. It's starting to get thicker the more we stir this, and that's what we want. So you're going to mix this up until all of the dry ingredients are nicely incorporated into the banana wet ingredients. This just looks yummy, so give it a little more stir, scoops. And it is finished. Okay. Now that we've finished mixing our ingredients, we are now going to put this in a buttered dish. And this is a perfect treat when you don't want like 50 cookies, when you want just something sweet that isn't a lot. So we're just going to use a spatula at this point to just scoop it in to our baking dish. And this is my favorite banana bread recipe because at the end it tastes so good. That cinnamon inside, the bananas, of course, the main ingredient, the bananas, the cinnamon, the vanilla extract, everything just makes it so sweet and flavorful. You'll want to make this over and over again. Our last few scoops of banana bread are going in. Okay, you can kind of smoothen that out in your dish, and then here I'll show you close up how that looks. Wow, that's beautiful. So when you put all of your batter into your dish, we're going to bake this at 350 for 45 minutes. I'll see you guys when it's finished. Bye! Okay, so our banana bread is out of the oven and it smells amazing. We can feel the cinnamon in the air and it's cooling right now for about 5 minutes on a drying rack, and now we're going to cut it for our tasting. So I'm just going to cut a piece. And that looks amazing. So now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it tastes delish. And now we're going to do a taste test to see how good it actually is. We're just going to get off a piece. I want to do a taste test. Wow. That was amazing. The cinnamon, the bananas especially, everything just melts in your mouth. Wonderful. So, if you guys enjoyed this recipe today, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below what you want our next video to be about. And if you have any recipes you want us to share with you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!